Hey guys, just a quick update. So I haven't done a little video in a while, so I thought I'd give you some news on what's going on in the world of Pulse Bitcoin. So first of all, Pulse Bitcoin is pretty much exactly the same as Bitcoin, but it's on two better networks. It's on the Ethereum network and it's on the Pulsechain network. It's faster, cheaper, more secure. You can earn trustless yield with it. You can build smart contracts to utilize all the advantages of Pulse Bitcoin, and it's DeFi compatible. So those are some of the reasons why we prefer Pulse Bitcoin over traditional Bitcoin. But one of the good things is, as I say, it's got the same tokenomics as Bitcoin. You can only buy it or mine it. It has limited supply of 21 million tokens. The difference is here, when I say mine it, you mine it using digital miners. They're called ASIC tokens. So you essentially use proof of stake technology. You buy some ASIC tokens, you lock them up for 30 days, and you get paid in Pulse Bitcoin. So it's proof of stake replicating proof of work. Why do we prefer that? Well, there's a lot of problems with traditional mining. Lots of people aren't doing it, especially in the West. Energy prices are just soaring. So you're paying a huge electricity bills. You've also got sorry, I got distracted over there. You've also got security issues. You have to buy the building to maintain it. There's just a lot of upkeep costs. A lot of people that are still mining, they're actually having to sell pretty much 97% of what they're mining just to pay for the running costs. So yeah, this is you can learn more information at pulsebitcoin.win. All the information is there, and there's also a link there that take you to pulsebitcoin.app, and that's where you can actually run the protocol to actually integrate directly with the smart contract and mine if you want to. But as I say, you don't have to do that. Some people just prefer to go to somewhere like Uniswap and purchase Pulse Bitcoin directly, so they don't have to mine. Got an aeroplane going overhead here. And obviously it's available on the Pulse chain, so some people can just go to PulseX, which is the native dApp for PulseX and for Pulse chain. So you can go directly on there and buy Pulse Bitcoin with Pulse. I think there's a few different things, or PulseX. So obviously what you've got here with newer tokens, you've got a much kind of increased chance of getting a real cool kind of explosive price appreciation. Obviously Bitcoin now, obviously it's just gone up a little bit, which we'll talk about a bit later, but that might go up to 120,000. Some people say 200,000, who knows? But it's not going to make you life-changing wealth unless you've got a huge amount of money put into it. So obviously it outperforms the stock market, housing market, things like that. But even Bitcoin has its limitations in how much it can grow in the future in price. Ethereum, most likely going to threefold the growth in price than Bitcoin in the next bull run. And some of these smaller tokens, especially when they're on their first run, they really can do crazy numbers. So we're hoping to take out, we haven't had a bull run yet for this token. Obviously we're only launched in the bear market, yeah, we had some crazy high prices early on, so I really look to revisiting those prices. At the moment, we had our first sell-off, so there's some real discount prices there. But as we gain more users, which is happening at a steady rate, and we move into our next halving, our Pulse Bitcoin halving, which, by the way, happened a lot quicker and sooner than traditional Bitcoin mining. Traditional Bitcoin halvings usually occur roughly every 4 years. So the next one is coming up. I think it's early summer next year. Well, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, so that's kind of May next year. But with Pulse Bitcoin, we're tending to see the halvings occur from 6 to 12 months. So currently, miners are mining around 3.75, well, exactly 3.75% a month every 30 days. That previously was at 7.5%, but now that was halving 0. We're now in halving 1, and we expect to move to halving 2. So what will happen there is everyone that's mining is going to have half the amount of reward when we go into the next mining phase, which will increase the scarcity. So what we're seeing, especially on the Ethereum side at the moment, is lots of high lows for the last 5 months, which is really encouraging, and we're seeing that sell pressure get less and less. Not much sell pressure really until that chart could explode. Obviously not financial advice, just my opinion. So I think when that sell pressure halves after the next halving, I think yeah, we're in a very good position. So I'm really happy about that. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about it. Yeah, let me give you some stats. So currently, let me give you the mining progress. That is how far we're in the current mining phase and how close we are to the next one. So currently, on the Pulsechain, we're 55% through this mining phase, which, and at the moment, there's about 16 million ASIC in the mines, kind of mining in there, mining that Pulse Bitcoin, that sweet yield. And then we have on the Ethereum side, we're at 41, just shy of 42%, 41.8%. So we expect the next halving to occur end of February, 28th of February, but that can change for Pulsechain. And I think it's going to be mid-May, yeah, mid-May of 2024 for the Ethereum. There's a little bit more people mining on the Pulsechain side. That's why that seems to be coming a little bit quicker. Obviously, the difference there, Pulsechain is a lot cheaper network. It's a brand new network. So let's say you have a higher risk appetite. You might want to go for Pulsechain if you're into that and you want to try a brand new chain developed by Richard Hart. A lot of people are excited about that. You've got a very dedicated community on that chain, and it's faster and cheaper than Ethereum. But if you're a little bit more conservative, you want to stick with the more established chain. Ethereum is the highest transacted chain out of all the networks. A lot of governments are building their centralized digital currencies on the Ethereum network. A lot of banks, Fortune 500 companies are building their tokens utilizing Ethereum. So that's kind of advantage of that. If you're working with larger amounts of money and you're not really as concerned about the transaction fees, because they can spike up quite high in a bull run, then you might decide that Pulsechain is a better fit for you. But as I say, some people are doing both. Most people are doing both, but that's really your personal choice. What can we have a look at next? Okay, news. Yeah, we got some news. We have, yeah, this is exciting. We've actually got some. This is more for the advanced users. We have some liquidity providing farms now available. We've partnered up with the guys over at atrofarm.io. And when I say we, I mean us as a community. There is no leader or leadership in this, no official leadership. Everyone's a volunteer who helps us out with anything. So everyone's a volunteer. This is a DeFi, decentralized community. But yeah, our community is teamed up with atrofarm.io. And we've got some PulseX V2 farms over there. So that basically means if you're providing liquidity between two tokens, you're given an LP token, which represents those two tokens, the liquidity pool, and then you put that into a farm, and then that farm will be generating. So as well as providing liquidity, we're just helping out the community. So new people can come in and buy in larger amounts without moving the price up so much or down against you. You can also earn APR with that, and the APR at the moment is quite high. As more people enter that farm, the APR does decrease. So yeah, there's some good farms there. That's atrofarm.io. So far we have Atrofa, which is their native token, and that's paired with Pulse Doge. There's $8,200 in there. It's only been open about a week, and participants are currently getting 485%. We also have Atrofa Pulse Bitcoin, and that's currently got $11,000 in that farm. And investors in that farm are actually yielding 381%. So it's a great way if you have some Pulse Bitcoin or some Pulse Doge just sitting on the side that you haven't locked up or staked. Obviously, you can stake your Pulse Doge at the moment on CARN.app and earn yield that way. And you can also obviously earn yield on your Pulse Bitcoin by locking it up into a Pulse Bitcoin Lock NFT. You start earning Hex every day with that, and you can also start earning CARN with that. So a lot of our participants have locked up a large majority of their tokens, but they've still got a little bit sitting on the side. So, well, this is a great way now. You can actually help us increase liquidity, get new eyes on the project, because a lot of investors do look at liquidity before they invest. A lot of larger investors do. So, if you're interested in utilizing a little bit of that spare Pulse Bitcoin, sitting in your MetaMask not doing anything, then that's a great way to think about doing it. Now, obviously, for those farms, you have to acquire the Atropha token as well to participate in that. And just to make this clear, this is just on the Pulsechain we're talking about here. This is just the Pulsechain. Yeah, there is now another farm which has opened up on our request. Because our community came in such great numbers and supported those guys. I think we're about 10% of their of all their kind of websites farms value, about 10% from our community. They've actually been really kind, and they've given us first choice of our own native farm. So we had a little voice chat, community chat in the Telegram the other night, and we decided that we think the best farm is CARN PLSB, or PLSB CARN. We decided that was better because a lot of people have got a little bit of CARN sitting in their account, a little bit of PLSB. They don't have to then go and buy any other tokens. And also that kind of increases the availability of CARN, because a lot of people were complaining that they couldn't get their hands on CARN. The liquidity was too thin. So I can't remember how much is in there. I think there was a good 3,000 or 4,000 in there when I checked this morning. I have to double check that, but that's really great. And the APR is at over 1,000% there. So, this whole system we have here, it's just yield on top of yield on top of yield. We had you've got your ASIC mining tokens. That's giving you yield paid in Pulse Bitcoin every 30 days. You can then take that Pulse Bitcoin, you can lock some of it up, and you can start earning Hex yield every day, and you start earning CARN every day. So, and then now you can take that CARN, and then you can earn yield on that. So it's this, and also the Hex you're earning in your Pulse Bitcoin lock, you can go and then stick that in your own stake. So this is really beautiful what's going on here. It's just this is why we say this is the better Bitcoin, because in all of these things we're talking about, you don't have to go and give your Pulse Bitcoin away to anyone. You can do this all by yourself, interacting with smart contracts with full self-custody, no middlemen. So yeah, really exciting stuff. Now on that note, I think I wanted to give you some information on. Yeah, here we are. So I'm trying to find my notes here. I wanted to give you some information about how much is locked up, but we'll get to that in a minute, I suppose. I've got my notes mixed up here. Apologies. Second thing, we actually have a Twitter space tonight. Well, for me, it's tonight in the UK. It's going to be 1 a.m. In the morning, so a bit of a late one for me, but we're doing it because the people we're streaming with, it's going to be with IMPLS, who actually have a vault which auto compounds those Atropha farms I told you about. So we're speaking with them, sharing a space with them and with Atropha, and we're going to talk about everything that's going on with Pulse Bitcoin and kind of have some community questions and discussions. So that'll be really interesting. That's actually 6 p.m. West Coast time, and that's 8 p.m. East Coast time. I'll drop the link to that space. It's in this video, but if you go in the Telegram room, it is pinned at the top. In the ASIC PLSD Telegram room, it's pinned at the top. And if not, you can always search for me on Twitter, and it's at FatSammy4. While we're talking about socials, please, please, please support me and support this project. I'm really trying to get the word out about Pulse Bitcoin, because that is really what is going to bring in new users, is really what grows the token. The reason why Hex did so well, it did 10,000x, was not only the clever design of the product, but the fact that people actually knew about it. The people got up, went outside, put stickers up, told people about it, made videos about it. I mean, look how many content creators there are about on Hex. I don't think I've ever seen a coin which kind of came out of nowhere with that many content creators. So please like this video. I'm begging you. Really helps out the algorithm. As you can see, our numbers have dropped quite a bit from earlier in the year. Part of that was because I wasn't posting, so part of that was my fault. But if we can try and we really want to get up to 1,000 subscribers. We've had great growth this last few months when we started streaming again. So yeah, like, share, comment. It all helps the algorithm. And you can also follow me on Twitter at FatSammy4. Yeah, I mean, if everyone can just spend a little bit of time going on to Twitter and just liking a few posts from. We've got a lot of Pulse Bitcoiners out there that are posting every day. They're making cool AI art. They're thinking of innovative things to say. They're giving you burn updates, all that sort of interesting content. So for just 5 minutes of your time to go on there and click the like, it really is important and useful to us. What else have we got here? Yeah, so 1 second. Yeah, the other piece of news is we actually have the UK Pulse Bitcoin meetup happening in London on the 3rd of December. That's the 3rd of December, which is a Sunday. It'll be the third Pulse Bitcoin meetup we've had. I think it's getting a bit dark out here. I'm losing the light, so I'll try and hurry up. You won't be able to see me in a minute. Yeah, the first one of the winter. We kind of have these every 2 or 3 months. It's going to be the 3rd of December, so it'll be great to see you there. It really is nice to meet the community. We'll do lots of interviews there, maybe even a small live show. We'll see. But yeah, things are going great. Activity's increased on the Telegram. We're seeing a lot of old faces come back. We've seen our followers go up. We've seen loads of new accounts open up. I think we're almost up to I think we're in between 6,500 to 7,000 on the Pulsechain. And that number's just been exploding recently. So great work, everyone. Telling your friends about this thing. Yeah, what else have we got here? Oh, here we are. This is what I want to tell you about earlier. Let's quickly go over, before it gets too dark, let's quickly go over the lockups. So this is the percentage of Pulse Bitcoin which is currently locked up. So on the Pulse chain, we have 23.5%, and that's locked up. That's just gone up for an average of 5 years to 6 years. Now, that beats Hex. Hex didn't get that high a percentage of their tokens locked up in 6 years within their first year. So that really is impressive. Well done, everyone. That is just amazing. It shows how dedicated people are to this project and how much of a long-term outlook they have, and probably also shows you how good the yield is. So that's probably another big reason of why they're locking up. And on the Ethereum chain, even more impressive. We're actually at 33.7%, and that's just been climbing almost by a percentage a week or every 2 weeks. That's been really going up fast, and that's an average of 5 years. So more locked up, but it seems for slightly less on average time. But yeah, that's really impressive numbers. There's not many tokens where people volunteer to lock their tokens up for that long in that large amount as well. Yeah, quick update on the burn rate. About 170,000 Pulse Bitcoin burnt and 425,000 ASIC on the Pulse chain side. And on the Ethereum side, we've had 102,000 PLSB burnt and 405,000 ASIC. And I think a lot of that is from people forgetting to end their miners. So someone's coming along and doing good accounting. I think they get back half of their Pulse Bitcoin, and the other person almost takes a bounty for causing that function. Yeah, I should finish with just saying it's been a really good week for crypto. Bitcoin is up 26.5% only in the last 2 weeks. That's crazy. Yeah, it looks like there's not much resistance there, all the way up to 40k. So I think it's very likely we could go to 40k, which would be really exciting. What we really want to see is a strong Bitcoin now. We can kind of enter into a bit of a bull run, so that should be fun. I won't go on, there's so much more I want to say, but it's getting dark. It doesn't look like my camera light is working, so I'll see you hopefully next week. Cheers.